Hi, Janet.
Hi, Melvin. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Can we get the big block off of his face? Is there any way to do that?
How do you mean? You mean my background?
There's a big block that says this meeting is being recorded by the host or participant, and I don't have a computer here.
Hold on.
Okay, but Deborah's here. Deborah's here.
Look at it.
Kim, you're on mute, just so you know.
Why is it not working?
Because it doesn't like me. Sorry, a little. Can't start a Zoom meeting without technical difficulties. All right.
All
Working.
right,
Yes.
no worries.
Woo. Okay, got it. All right,
Now.
yay.
This here allows you to see.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
All right.
Okay.
Do you want it up or down?
Oh, that's fine. Keep it up. All right.
I'll keep this up.
Yeah, so safe. Okay, everybody. Hi, welcome. I'm Janet Darrow. I'll be hosting the meeting, and with us we have Melvin Perdomo from KW Puerto Rico. What is the name of your office? Is it just KW Puerto Rico?
For international purposes, yes, Janet. We call it KW Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico, we actually call it KW Grand Homes.
Grand Host. Okay.
Grand
And
Homes.
how many
Yes, it's like,
KW offices do you have there?
excuse me, Janet. We can hear you like with very little volume. You know, I'm not sure if I'm the only one. Can you hear them okay, Paola, Namari?
Yeah, I can hear them fine.
Okay.
Okay, then it might just be me.
I'll just get closer. So in Puerto Rico, how many KW brokerages are there?
There's one, just
Just
one
one?
broker,
Okay.
just one market center. Yeah,
And where are you located?
I'm in the San Juan area, which is where the market center is as well, and it's a big market center too. I think at this point we're about 580 agents with our market center.
Huge, yes. So why don't you introduce yourself and the people you have with you?
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Janet. So, as you said, my name is Melvin Perdomo. I'm an agent here at the Market Center in Puerto Rico at KW Grand Homes. I've been an agent for just over a year and a half. I started after the pandemic, and I specialize in the San Juan area. And with me today is Damaris Rivera. Damaris with the red background right there. And also Paola Mendiola
Hi.
right there. These two beautiful women are accompanying me today here at the International Meetup.
Are you on a team together?
No.
We are not. We are not. We are single agents, all of us. And as I think maybe they might help me out on this a little bit. I think we're all on our way to making our first hire or already on that step.
Super. Now, I met Melvin at Family Reunion just very briefly. He was kind of coming into the international event as I was going out. But again, it's another reason to go to Family Reunion because you do get to connect with good agents all over the world. And hence we have Puerto Rico here for us for referrals and for good connections. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what the marketplace is like in Puerto Rico?
Absolutely. I would like to ask Paola or Damaris if they want to say a little bit on this.
What was the question about our market?
Yes, what's the market like?
The market
right
in Puerto Rico.
Oh, the market in Puerto Rico. Well, I would say it's crazy, like every other real estate market in the world right now. Very little inventory. and a lot of demand. So with that, high prices constantly. I work with a lot of, I don't know if you're familiar with the Act 20 benefits for taxes. So I work with a lot of those clients that come here. So we're getting a lot of those applications for Puerto Rico right now.
Well, why don't you explain that to us, Paula?
The Act 60, I could share more specific information later with you guys. But in a nutshell, it gives people that come to Puerto Rico from the US to live, they pay only 4% tax. They have, one of the requirements is that they have to purchase a property here and employ people also. But it's also going to depend on the client. So that's why it's not a specific just one thing. So it would depend, but that it's it's after Maria. I think Hurricane Maria was very, it was horrible for us. But again, it put us in the map, I would say. A lot of people had no idea where Puerto Rico was. Looking at the positive side of things, with us being all over the news with that, people started, searching about Puerto Rico, and with that, a lot of investors are here in it.
Super. And then are you, because Puerto Rico is really part of America, I'm assuming that moving there is a lot easier for us who are living in the mainland. Is that true?
Yeah, sure.
So just like moving to Texas or any place else in the US?
Yes, because it's the same US currency. Like, for example, you have a similar tax benefit over in Portugal, but it cannot compare with, being right, a couple hours away from, the US mainland. So that's why, we have a lot of people coming here instead of Portugal for those tax benefits. I was surprised, and I was at the family reunion, and I was surprised that most of the agents that I met had no idea that these tax benefits, were available. So it's very
Which
interesting.
is why we're glad we have this opportunity for you to educate us.
Yes.
So that if we have clients that are looking for, having some more exotic lifestyle on the water, on an island, that they know that it might be easier to go to Puerto Rico than other places.
Right. What the main requirement is that they have to be in the island for 183 days to live. So, they don't have to be all the time in Puerto Rico, but that is like the main requisite for all of them. And but I can share the attorney. I'm an attorney as well, but I don't practice. I don't like law. I like real estate, but I can share, and my attorney's contact that he's, he does the Act 60s and Act 20s applications here.
So if we come to you and we want a property in Puerto Rico and you're helping us, you can help, give us the right people to guide us through the whole process.
Yes, of course, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And those clients are specifically, Damaris can talk about that from her side of the island, because I work more in the Dorado, Condado, San Juan area. But over there, the prices, I would say they specifically, which is crazy, Dorado and San Regis prices are, 18 million up to $30 million sales going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they last in the market a week.
Wow.
So the Damaris can talk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how big of a price jump have you seen, like in those luxury properties? How much has it jumped in just the past year or two with the pandemic and everything and the inventory shortage?
Just to give you an example, I had a client that bought a property. Well, of course, I'm talking about luxury markets, so everything's gonna be different in the island. But those specific markets, I had a client that bought like 2 years ago for 4.6, and now he's selling for 18 mil.
Wow.
Wow, that's a huge jump. Okay.
Where are these clients coming from?
Yeah.
Where are your clients coming from primarily? Are they internal on the island, or are they mostly coming from outside of Puerto Rico?
Outside of Puerto Rico. Those are, I was mentioning these type of sales because they go along with the tax benefits. Because these people, of course, are wealthy people, they save so much money in those tax benefits that, you know, for them it's nothing to buy those type of properties. And I was surprised that not most agents in the family reunion did not know about this. So we should get the word out.
Yes, definitely. Okay, Damaris, we haven't heard from you.
Yeah.
Tell us about your market.
I also wanted to add that it's also easy to do the transition move to Puerto Rico because of the federal guidelines. We have the same federal guidelines. So, you know, the process is very similar than purchasing property in the US. So makes it a little bit more attractive because, you know, they're not just coming out, you know, like blinded, completely blinded, you know. If you bought a property in the US, then you already have the experience, you know, on what to do if you buy property in Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Do you want to walk us maybe through what a transaction would be like? If I called you up and said I wanted to buy some property, take us through the steps of a transaction in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, pretty much if you're calling about a property, for example, a property I have listed, you know, we will get an appointment, obviously. Most of my appointments are virtual, so I do virtual showings. We take care of, you know, the referrals for inspection. If you're doing a cash buy, if you want to know the appraised price, we also have the appraisers, you know, to refer you to. And, you know, we don't have title companies per se in Puerto Rico, but we do have the lawyer's office where they take care of all of that, you know, do the same function to make sure that you have a free and clear property purchasing, that everything is good with the title and the registration of the property, which is very important here in Puerto Rico because many times those were not done. The process was not done completely, and you know, so that's very, very important to know about purchasing a property in Puerto Rico. And you know, if it's with the bank, it has to be a bank in Puerto Rico, a Puerto Rican bank. And you know, same guidelines if it's an FHA, you know, depending the type of loan. The only difference is that you actually have to be here for the closing. You can't do a virtual closing yet. Hopefully we'll get that soon. That would make it so much easier. Oh my God.
That would be awesome.
Could you do it through a consulate office if you couldn't be there?
No, you actually, the only option that you have is doing a POA,
Okay.
a power of attorney. That's the only option.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So generally, how long is the process? You know, I mean, are most of your loans like, you know, from start to finish kind of once you accept an offer on a property, is it 30 days like it is here or shorter, longer?
It depends with the bank that you're working with. If it's a commercial bank, it's gonna probably take 90 days around. Even if it's with the mortgage company, then because of the flexibility, probably will be closing within the 30 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the banks there, I mean, can I borrow money there?
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
it's not an issue. Well, I mean,
No.
Some
It's-
places it is. So, okay.
It's just that the same process, you know, pre-qualification, and they'll ask you for your W-2s, or you have a business, you know, they'll ask you for the information, and then you do a pre-qual, and as long as you qualify for it, and you're good to go.
So that's great. So it's very, very similar to how it is here. Probably more similar to Florida or some of the states that use the lawyer as opposed to title. California uses the title companies, but it varies state by state here. So,
Yes.
okay. So tell us a little bit about the island, Melvin. Maybe you want to tell us where, what areas are people looking, and a little bit about the island itself, the climate, the people, anything you can let us know.
Absolutely. So I am going to share my screen and kind of go by Google Maps. Let Google Maps help us a little bit, so you guys have an idea of what we're doing, what area we're covering. Let me go ahead and share the screen. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, so this is the island of Puerto Rico. And currently where this part is, that's our market center
Okay.
in the San Juan area, right? San Juan, between San Juan and Guaynabo. And then, so all of this gray area is what we call the metropolitan area, which is closer to the capital city of San Juan. But we cover all of Puerto Rico. And correct me if I'm wrong, Damaris, you are somewhere around here in Aguadilla?
Isabela.
In Isabela. So Damaris is around here. She covers, I mean, this is where you're living, right?
Yeah,
But you basically cover like the whole west side.
yeah, pretty much. Mhm.
So how far away is that from San Juan?
That's about an hour and a half.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. About an hour and a half from San Juan to Isabela. You take a highway, it's fairly easy to get there. And it's a beautiful view as well. And the highway basically gets you along this coast, these yellow lines on here, those are the highways. So basically most of that route, you are going very close to the coast. And pretty much all of the northern Puerto Rico is beautiful beaches, like the whole north coast. So, if you're having a client come in looking to buy beautiful property, which beautiful, beachside property, or that's somewhat close to the beach, these are, basically the whole north coast is a great option, as well as the whole west coast are also great options. Probably Damaris can say a lot more about this than I can. My favorite places in Puerto Rico are obviously in the San Juan area. Then we have Isabela, which is where Damaris lives. We have this area right here, Rincon. This area right here, which is Cabo Rojo, which is the southwest coast. And last but not least, if we go all around, we have this area right here, Guayama, which has some beautiful beaches and some beautiful lakes as well. Just as Damaris mentioned, you can basically get from any part of Puerto Rico to the other side in a few hours. You could probably do from the very, most eastern coast to the western coast in, I would say, maybe 3-ish hours, maybe a little bit more. And then obviously being an island, all around we have beaches, right? And in the center of Puerto Rico, we have beautiful rivers and we have some mountains as well, especially around this area right here, which is the heart of Puerto Rico.
We have a
Yeah, and we have a yunque around this area as well. Oh, here we are, the yunque rainforest.
Oh, so jungle, yes.
Kind of
Yes.
like a jungle, yes. It's a small jungle in a
and
way.
then Vieques.
And then, yeah, of course, we have the extensions of Puerto Rico, which is Vieques and the island of Culebra.
Okay. And that comes under the same parameters that Puerto Rico, the
Yeah.
island does? Okay.
Yeah, so Vieques and Culebra are basically cities of Puerto Rico.
Mhm.
And just to expand a little bit on what Damaris was saying earlier, any buyer looking to come to Puerto Rico and buy a beautiful coastside or mountain property, they would get lending in Puerto Rico, unless obviously they're looking to buy cash. But we have a ton of lenders, mortgage lenders, and they would get pre-qualified the same way you would in the States. The financing is basically the same as in the States, meaning FHA or conventional financing or 203K for repairs, all those same products we have available here in Puerto Rico. And yeah, along those lines, it's important to know for the buyers that the lending would have to go through a lender in Puerto Rico, right? And I say, I make a point of this because I've had buyers from the States saying things like, hey, I have a lender out here and I'm already pre-qualified. I want to buy a property in Puerto Rico. Right away, I'm going to go ahead and tell them that's great that you're already pre-qualified. Let me put you in contact with a lender out here because it has to go through a lender in Puerto Rico. And another thing on that point is that obviously, income has to be verifiable. So it's great if the buyer is looking to buy a second home or an investment property in Puerto Rico. They do have to consider that if they're considering on moving full time to Puerto Rico, then the lender will look at their what will happen to their income once they do that. And once again, I had this particular case which I had this buyer wanting to move out to Puerto Rico, get lending, and then obviously her job was in the States, and her plan was to quit as soon as she got the lending and then look for new opportunities in Puerto Rico. And according to the lender, obviously that doesn't work, right? Because she'll have to wait 2 more years to get 2 tax returns in order to qualify for lending. Does that make sense? Yeah. So anyway, this is the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. Like I said, it's beautiful all around. Just for context, for those of you who are not very geographically oriented, sorry.
Oh, there we go.
So this is Florida right here. This is Mexico, obviously. We have Cuba. And all of this is the Caribbean. And then we have beautiful Puerto Rico right here, Las Antillas.
So the distance from flying, say, from Miami, how long does that take?
Roughly 2.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with the banks, are the rates kind of tied to the US? Are they kind of the same?
At this point in time, they're about the same as in the US currently. With the most recent federal adjustments to the interest rates, right now we're looking at somewhere around 5%-ish. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less.
So, okay, well, why
Mhm.
don't you tell us a little bit about, some of the properties and some of the things we might find and I mean, if I had 200,000 to invest, could I find something in Puerto Rico?
I'll
You're
let,
laughing, so apparently
I'll
not.
let Damaris answer this
Okay.
one.
Yes, I can find you something. Definitely.
Okay.
We get a lot of clients that, obviously like the beaches, but right now because of the prices are pretty high, about more than 30%, I guess, on this side. You could purchase a property, a little further away from the beach, that you can have in the mountains, with beautiful views as well, close to maybe a lake or a river. So, yeah.
But if somebody wanted to come for like investment for Airbnb,
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good question. If somebody wanted to do like an investment property in Airbnb, is that allowed there?
Yeah, there's restrictions on, condos, but if it's like a single family out in the country between the mountains, no, I don't think there's any restrictions for that.
If it's a single family on the beach, is that allowed?
It depends on the community. Some communities don't allow it. If it's not in a gated community, then yeah.
and the price range of most of their waterfront properties.
Okay, well, are you, you could just say it. Okay,
Oh.
so, I mean, I think you're,
They probably can hear me because the mic's open, yes.
so yeah, what are kind of the range of prices for beach properties?
Okay, right now between 400 to 600, I would say, and then obviously there's much more than that. Yeah.
About the 30,000.
Yeah.
Okay, but I would assume the
I just sold a nice condo in Rincon. I think Melvin mentioned it for about 425.
Okay, and that's how many bedrooms?
That was a penthouse. It was 3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
Okay, so there are deals to be had still.
Yes, yes.
And then we had a question about if somebody wanted to purchase land and build on land, is that a possibility?
Yes, definitely, it's a possibility. You can get a loan for, to purchase the land and, and then you start building. We have connections with construction companies as well that are coming actually from the US. So yeah, that's definitely something that you can do.
Question in the chat. Did we answer the other? It's just the one. Okay.
Yeah, it was just one. Yeah.
Absolutely. Paola, do you wanna maybe add on this? So Janet was originally asking a little bit about if I have 200K to buy property in Puerto Rico. What are your thoughts?
Well,
You're
it
on mute, by the
depends.
way.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely you could, in the areas where the married works, especially, but in San Juan, Condado, Dorado, I need to be extremely honest.
No.
It's almost, I don't want to say impossible. There are deals that come, but they last just a couple of hours and people pay cash for them. Is a reality. Years ago, there was a legend that there were properties for $80,000 that I sold, but this was like 6 years ago from beachfront. But that's pretty much, not available right now. You could find beachfront or beach view properties or apartments in Condado and San Juan, and you could, for maybe 400K. But the thing is that most buildings in those areas are not allowing Airbnb. There are very little buildings that do.
Mhm.
And with that, prices go higher.
Right, of course.
Yes. But yeah, it's not impossible, but the reality is that, yeah, prices are very high in those areas right now.
What are the areas that you're finding most expats purchasing?
Dorado, San Regis. I would, would be my opinion. I don't know if you guys
Rincon.
think on too.
Absolutely. People love Rincon. People love Dorado.
The thing is, sorry. The thing is that
Go ahead.
they like especially Dorado because they have an all English speaking school, which is called TASIS. So, when they come with their families, they love that community, and they will pay what it costs to live, to have that type of lifestyle. And also in Condado, you have all English speaking schools. That's one of the main reasons that they go there, I would say.
So the paperwork in the US, in California at least, all of our paperwork, our forms are all in English. In Puerto Rico, are they all in Spanish, English, both?
Both.
Oh, you have
Both.
both.
Yes. Most of our paperwork, it's in a mix, Spanglish. No, at least the paperwork that we manage in our market center, our contracts, they are either in Spanish and then right underneath it, the same line in English, or the other way around. And then, lender paperwork, it depends on the bank, but normally they either have both or they're fully in English.
Emil's mic's open. I don't know if he has a question. Emil?
Who has a question?
I don't know. Emil opened up his mic.
Okay, Emil, did you have a question? Okay, so what about, is there a licensing process in Puerto Rico for agents?
I'll go ahead and take this one.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So for taking out our licenses, we had to take a real estate course in one of the real estate schools in Puerto Rico. I think it's maybe close to 80 or 90-hour course, which you can now do online. That was the way I had it when I got into real estate. And then after that, you take an exam. And yeah, the government asks for a bunch of documents and paperwork, but basically that's how it works. You take the course, which is maybe around $400 right now. I think it's what's costing. And then, yeah, just take the exam, you pass it with 70 or more, and then you're good to go.
Very similar here.
Yeah, it's basically the same as it's in the States. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what do you have a lot of competition? How is KW doing against the other agencies in Puerto Rico? Hopefully dominating, I would assume.
Well, I can take this one.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Because I was with Keller Williams before, with Grand Homes before they bought the Keller Williams franchise. So before we were Grand Homes, and we were like, when I first started, we were like 20 agents. This was like 6 years ago, and now we are the largest real estate company in Puerto Rico. So,
Yay.
Yeah.
Congrats to you.
So you went from a small intimate office to a mega office.
right.
Yeah.
And how has the change been for you? I mean, not just the size of the office, but the way things are done. Are you finding the Keller brand helpful to you there?
Yes. I love the exposure that the brand, meaning the referral
Mhm.
network that we have. We did have referrals before we became Keller Williams, but it's never the same as being with a brand such as Keller Williams. So to me, that's one of the biggest values that Keller Williams, brings to the table. All of our networking.
Sorry.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wanted to also add that you can actually see the growth in the technology side of the company. It's just amazing how the tools can take you to another level, because I've seen it going from the basic, what's it called, to keep all the leads, a program to keep all the leads, and then now going to command and, doing all kinds of stuff for the business. So yes, I've seen an amazing impact on that side. Yeah.
Now,
We did have a question.
with Puerto Rico being part of the US, was all of the command open to you at the very beginning, or did you have to wait until it was more open internationally?
Yeah, we had to wait.
Okay.
We had to wait to have everything available. Yeah, because we are considered international.
Okay.
Yes.
And
That's right. So yeah, just to add a little bit to that, we're part of the KW Worldwide.
Mhm.
President.
Okay. All right. So Kim?
So one of my favorite places in Puerto Rico is Ponce, but I haven't been there since the hurricane. Are people investing in Ponce? I mean, are those beautiful little small houses with the colors and everything, or is it just remained sort of like trying to rebuild, or they had any problems?
I can talk about Ponce if you want.
Go ahead.
Yes, actually, yes. We have a lot of investors, and I don't know if you are familiar with the plazas that they have in the different towns.
Yes.
The downtown area.
Yes.
That used to be a little bit more like abandoned, in the past years, and now we have seen growth also in the downtown areas. So a lot of investors are falling in love with these beautiful, older properties, and they're purchasing those and either, making it in a boutique hotels or Airbnb places. It's becoming one of those hipster things, I would say. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Well, maybe we could start, is there any other questions? Yes, no? Okay. Well, why don't we start talking about some of the properties that you have? Maybe you could share some of the listings or show us, what you can get for your money.
We may want to buy something as a group there. We're ready to invest.
Good.
That's great.
River.
Okay.
We're like, we're gonna invest.
Damaris and Paola, do you mind if I share some of your listings?
I don't mind.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, you could
All
show the since they were asking about Airbnb, the new one in Condado that I have. Can you see it?
Let's see.
It's Sunset.
The one in Condado.
Yeah, Sunset.
Got it. Right. Here, the screen right here. Okay, so this is one of the tools that we use for promoting our inventory. You just really quickly pull up my agent site just so you get an idea. So this is what we use to promote our property. This is all of our inventory for our whole market center. So every one of our agents, same as Damaris, Paola, we each get our own agent site in there, with the market center. And then people can come in here and look at our inventory at the KW Market Center in Puerto Rico. as well as the 2 MLSs that work in the Puerto Rico. Those also show on here. So going back to, let's see, to Paola's listings. So this is, Paola, do you maybe want to talk a little bit about your listing?
Yeah, this one specifically is one of the few buildings that allows Airbnb in Condado. It's a new listing. It's only been like less than a week in the market. Completely remodeled. It's already in the short-term platforms. It's making around $70,000 a year profit on Airbnb. And that one is 810,000. It's right on Ashford Avenue, which is where all the, the nightlife restaurants are in Condado, and it's just a block away from the beach.
Bedrooms? Oh, 2-2.
Yeah, that's two.
And then the HOA is $343 a month.
Yeah, 343. Yeah,
Okay, the property taxes are $192 a year.
for that one, yes.
Okay, now is that something that resets when there's a new owner that buys it, or would it pretty much stay consistent like that with the new owner?
It's the same tax for each owner, unless it's their main residence. It could vary. It could be less.
Okay,
And the 810 is the US dollars, right?
The what? Sorry.
That's right.
yes.
810, yes.
Yeah.
He was asking about the currency.
Oh yeah,
Wait, and you're offering it completely furnished? for
completely furnished. Yes, and it's also in Condado. If the building has a full generator, it's gonna be more expensive. So this one has a full generator and water cistern. So no hurricane problems here.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, that's important.
yeah.
How many units are in that building?
I'm sorry.
How many units are in that building?
It's 3 units per floor, and it's 6. It's 20 units, around 20 units. Yeah.
Wow. Nice little building.
Well, we're all pooling together, we're all
Yeah.
making plans.
I'm already visualizing myself visiting there now and staying.
So now for this property, do you already have people buying for it, putting in offers?
I do. The only problem that I've had is that it just came up last week, but since it's a property that is always booked on Airbnb, I have very little space or days available to show it. So I have a list of people, because the only open spot that I have is next Monday. So
Oh, gosh.
hopefully I'll sell it on Monday.
Wow, you're gonna be very busy on Monday, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So go ahead and make your appointments.
Yes, exactly, Jen,
Yes.
book our flight.
Book your flight today.
Yes, I know, as beautiful as it shows from the photos, I mean, would you accept an offer without viewing it or no?
Yeah, you could. I've done that before. What we usually do is a virtual tour, or either we do a FaceTime call. Yeah, but I've done that plenty of times.
Oh, yeah, good.
Do you expect this to go much higher? I mean, what, in your experience, do you think it will go higher, or do you think it's kind of priced where it will sell?
I think it will sell for what it's priced at.
Okay.
Yeah, here in the States, we're still seeing multiple offers and then over asking in most cases, anywhere from 10, 20, upwards of 100,000, depending on the price range. So
Yes.
You're gonna curious what's happening there.
It's the same thing here. But this one specifically, speaking between agents, we're open to an offer, not a lot less, but that's why I know it's not gonna be over that asking. Maybe it stays at asking price or just a little bit lower.
So if there was a comparable building that you couldn't have the Airbnb at, how much lower would that probably be priced?
Well, it depends on the area, but if
Say it was right next to that.
you know,
Or if it was that building and they didn't have the Airbnb,
Would that reduce the price any?
I'm sure it would. But I mean, I wonder how drastically it reduces the price.
I don't think it would reduce it that much because it's still blocked away from the beach. So you have clients that want the location, it's like half and half. So
Okay.
they would pay the price for the location or either as an investment. So I would say it would be around,
You won't change it that much, okay.
no,
Because of its location, yeah.
just because of that location, yeah.
Well, let's see some more properties.
Absolutely. I want to pull up another one.
I'm
of
definitely gonna
Mari's.
see the $30,000 one now, or $30 million one.
Oh, yeah, I don't have it listed yet. Let me look for pictures if you want, Melvin, go ahead and I'll look for pictures. After you.
I have the 18
$350
million one.
out here.
That you
Okay.
go whenever.
It's more.
All right. So this is one of the Maris' listen. Maris, do you wanna walk us through this a little bit?
Yeah, definitely if you're looking for a good deal, this would be one of those cases. This property can easily be rented out for short term. And it's very close to Dorado. The Dorado area is just to the right. And it's close to the Cerro Gordo Beach. It's just one owner. Clean title, everything good with it, no structural anything, and it's sold for furnished or unfurnished. Yeah.
Four bedrooms, 2.5 baths.
Yeah, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths.
We can all buy.
Again,
And I'll stay at the same time.
we've got a little buying team going here.
There you go.
So that's not far from San Juan then.
Yeah, and I thought it was too.
So San Juan is right here,
Right,
and this is Big Alta right here.
yeah. So how far is it from the beach? How many blocks maybe from the beach?
It's just like, I think 5 minutes
Okay,
driving,
okay.
I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, just a few minutes from my car.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
So as you can see, depending on, just how they say it's everything's location, right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, this is a beautiful home for $350. If we get maybe a little bit further from the beach, price drops considerably.
Mhm.
And the same goes the other way, right? If we get maybe, I don't know, one road closer to the beach, the prices go up very fast. Especially if you're in one of the most desired areas, like Paola mentioned, in the Condado area, or where Damaris lives in Isabela, or in Rincon or Cabo Rojo. These are very areas that are very desired because they're so close to the beach and the areas are so beautiful.
Mhm.
You may find properties starting at around the 400 mark, and it can go up several $1 million. For a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom apartment or house. So, yeah. And then this is, at least for me, I think it's very remarkable considering that the median price in Puerto Rico is just under the 200K currently. So, especially after the pandemic, because of the market that's been going up and up and up, it's very, surprising that properties are now selling for, several $1 million compared to the medium price range in Puerto Rico, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Well, do you think the median has actually changed, or has it remained? It can't have remained the 200.
No, it has definitely gone up. Just before the pandemic, it was around the 150K,
Mhm.
maybe, and it's currently around the 200K,
Got it. Okay, so it's gone up 25%.
roughly. Yes.
Okay, well, what about land? If I don't know if you have any land plots available, but kind of what does land go for there?
That is, well, I'm gonna give my opinion on it,
Location.
and we'll see what the Maris has to say about this. Let's just look something up right here. Hold on. So you just use the Maris right here.
Nahuatl?
All right, let's look up Naguabo. Oh, you have some in Naguabo, right? Damari?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Is this the one you have?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, I just want to go ahead and give my 2 cents on this. In Puerto Rico, it's land is it's fairly difficult to fix on a price for it. I mean, prices may go as low as, I don't know, 5 or 8 or 10K per acre, and it can go as high as a couple million per acre. And it goes back again to location, as well as how flat and usable the land is, right? So I'll let Damaris talk us through
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, like you can see, there's 31 acres there for 300,000. We're gonna do a price adjustment. We're gonna bring it down a little bit because we didn't have as many showings as expected in the first month, but pretty much because of the way that the property is, like, it's in between mountains. There's not like a lot of flat space. Maybe like 1 acre or 1.5 is flat space to build on. So yeah, but if you wanted to get closer to the beach, then it wouldn't be based on acres, it would be the square meter price.
Now, in a place like that 31 acres that you have there, how much infrastructure is there nearby? Would it be difficult to bring, telephone lines or whatever, or power lines? Is it close by? Is it easy to pull that in?
Yeah, it's not difficult because it's close to main road, which already has connection. It would be around 10,000, I would say, to bring into the property. But in these type of cases, I always suggest going off grid.
Mhm.
Yeah. In the long run, it's just gonna be better.
Mhm. More sustainable, probably.
Yeah, definitely, especially because the hurricanes.
Good point. Okay, so let's look at some more.
All right.
Did you find the photo, Paula?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. It's just that I haven't, I'm not marketing this property yet. Just in a couple of weeks, it's gonna be available.
Yeah.
But Melvin, do you want to pull up the 18?
Absolutely.
Thank
All right,
you.
let's see if
Just
I
trying
have
to-
it on here. Let's see if I can. You wanna walk us through this one?
I'm losing you. Hello?
Can you hear
Hello?
me?
Can you hear?
Hello?
Hold on, because I cannot hear it very well. Okay, now.
Wow.
That one is in San Regis. It's a San Regis branded property. It's a new construction beachfront apartments. That one, that's the one that I mentioned as an example of a tax 60 client that bought it 2 or 3 years ago for about 4.6, and now it's selling. Those are actual comps. Now it's selling for 18.
And did they do all the improvements, or did they buy it finished as we're seeing it?
Yeah, but it was with everything as you see it.
That's good appreciation.
Yeah, I'm the best at it. You want to be a part of
Wow.
it.
It's absolutely beautiful. Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you. You can come see it anytime if you want to buy it as a group.
I think we should schedule happy hour there. I think so.
Yes, for sure. Well, I'm actually doing an open house for the other wood listing, so you should come for that one.
Yes.
And Paola, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is our prices listing currently in our market center, right?
Our what? Sorry?
Our priciest, the highest price listing, is that right?
Yes.
Nice.
The house that I'm trying to look for, that one is gonna be 25. I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull it up, but I can't find it.
All right, no worries. In the meantime, I'll show one of mine.
Sure.
So by the way, Damaris has a bunch of them. all these are Damaris.
Wow.
Damaris has a bunch of land as well.
Yes, she does.
All right, let's see if I can find at least one of mine. One of mine that I've been trying to sell for a while. Hopefully you guys can help me sell this.
Not a bad price.
So this is a multifamily in the Santurce area in San Juan. This is a 10 unit. It's a 10 studio, that's 8 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartments, and then 2 studio apartments for a total of 10 units. It's bringing in 4,350 in gross income. It's currently listed at $399. We've been selling it for a while now. We've had some very low offers, unfortunately. We're currently accepting offers for this one. So the property, in general terms, it's in good condition, structurally specifically. The apartments inside are very nice and tidy. Some of them have remodeled kitchens and bathrooms. And yeah, we're excited to get this off the market.
Okay.
How many, 10 units? Is that what it's
10 units. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a 10-unit multifamily.
What do the units rent for?
They go between 400 and 600. They're different sizes, each one. So yeah, depending on the size, and that's the rent. They are very low rents for the area, by the way. You know, for the same amount of space in that area, it's currently renting for about double the amount they're currently being rented for. But the sellers, they've had their tenants for several years, so they've just kept it at the same rent. Especially after the pandemic, rent has gone insanely high. I would say even higher than listings. So yeah, this is I mean, obviously, someone looking to buy and maybe doing a bump in rent,
Mhm,
it's a good opportunity.
right. Can I have all three of you put your names with the contact details in the chat, please? So
Sure.
that we're able to get a hold of you after this.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to connect through KW, and make sure that we're able to stay in touch. We know that we have good agents here in Puerto Rico and knowledgeable at all different price points. So if we have anybody looking to buy or sell there, we've got a place to go.
And I know we're close to time, just a little over.
Yeah.
If we wanted to visit there for fun and games, where would we head that's affordable?
To rent or to buy?
To come and visit, so to come for
Okay.
vacation, what would you recommend? Like, is the north side of the island, the south side of the island, where would you find that would be appealing?
Damaris? Yeah.
I mean, it depends. What I always recommend is if you want to come to Puerto Rico and get to know the island, you need to come at least 2 times or
Okay.
stay for a longer stay, because then you can see most of the island. But on the west side, it would be hard for you, like you have to rent a car. It will be hard for you to go to the San Juan area and vice versa. But yeah, the west side is very affordable. You can find something really affordable beachfront. Mhm.
We definitely want to be near San Juan so we can pop in the office and say hi as well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That would be Paola. She can recommend you some places.
Yeah, no, but you could, my recommendation is to stay either, you have right next to the airport, you have Isla Verde, which is like 5 minutes away from Condado. And it's all where the restaurants, the hotels, beach, where everything is. And it's right next to the airport. It's like 15 minutes away from our office, 20 maybe with traffic.
Roughly, yeah.
So you could do either a hotel or an Airbnb. And depending on the season, you could get a good deal. Of course, depends on what type of hotel you want to stay in. But yeah, you could get good deals over there.
nice.
My top 3 recommendation would be, just as Paola mentioned, stay in the Isla Verde area so you can check out San Juan. Then go to the west side so you don't miss on that. I would definitely go visit where Damaris is living in Isla Verde or Aguadilla to check out those beaches, especially if you get a chance to visit Crash Boat. You can swim with fish, which is absolutely insane and beautiful, crystal clear water. And then I would bring you back to the East Coast to check out Culebra or Vieques, which are the smaller islands on the East Coast.
Well, I can't thank you guys enough for sharing all the information, sharing the listings, telling us a little bit about how business is conducted there. I can't wait to bring you guys referrals. And we look forward to speaking with you again. I don't know if any of you are going to Mega Camp. Anybody
In
going?
August.
In August?
Planning on it, yes.
Good,
Good.
good. We'll look forward to talking to you in person again then. And thank you again so much. Really appreciate it.
I'll send
Thank you,
you
Janet, for the opportunity.
photos later because I cannot find it.
Okay,
Good.
all right.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Janet, for the opportunity.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Damaris and Paola.
Yes, thank you,
Thank
everyone.
All of you.
Bye. Pleasure. Bye.
Bye, Janet.
Bye. Bye, Melanie.
Hi, guys.
Bye. Did you get the information, guys?
Yeah. Well, they're
Just
recording it, so it'll be.
got it. Okay, cool. Thanks for that reminder.
Have a great day. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.